If you look at your life on paper, it probably looks like you made it. You might have the career, the house, or the relationship that you spent years working for. Yet for some reason, you still feel empty. You might have even felt guilty about it, telling yourself that you should be more grateful because you have so much. But that's actually not how it works. Happiness isn't a math equation where good job plus good house equals joy. And to show you this statistically, in the UK, recent studies show that whilst our standard of living has generally increased over the last decade, our reported life satisfaction has actually trended downwards. This means that we are objectively better off, but subjectively, we are more miserable. Great. So in this episode, I'm going to break down 5 psychological reasons why you feel unhappy, even when your life is good, and exactly what you can do to get your spark back. Number 1, you are successful at the wrong thing. Brutal truth number 1 is if you climb the wrong mountain, the view from the top will always disappoint you. Society has a very specific definition of success, usually involving a high status role like, being a surgeon or a lawyer. But success is only high value if it actually aligns with what you, deep down, actually value. For example, you could be a world-class surgeon, but if what truly lights you up is being outdoors and moving your body, then being a surgeon is categorically unsuccessful at making you happy. You're spending 60 hours a week in a sterile room doing something that drains your battery instead of actually charging it and fueling you. So it's not a surprise that you wouldn't be happy. And I see this consistently at my self-empowerment retreats. We recently had a high-level lawyer attend who realised that he was winning at his career, but it wasn't actually conducive to his values at all. His life looked great to everyone else, including the past version of him that wanted this reality. But in reality, it actually felt like a cage, and so he ended up making a massive career pivot. As a result, he is now far happier and feeling more successful than he ever was when he was just checking the boxes. Number 2, your focus is fixated on the parts of your life that you don't like. Brutal truth number 2, you cannot experience the abundance in your life if you are entirely focused on the opposite. Our brains are evolutionarily wired for negativity bias, which means that we are designed to scan for threats and for things that are missing because that's what kept our ancestors alive. You might not realize it, but because of that bias, you are likely spending far more time focusing on what's wrong rather than what's right. You have abundance, but you are living in a mental state of scarcity or mareness. You don't do that because you're ungrateful. You're doing it because of your brain's negativity bias, which is naturally wired to hyperfixate on the one missing puzzle piece instead of the beautiful pictures that are already finished. And this is exactly why gratitude lists aren't just cute self-care rituals. They are a scientifically proven tool that force your brain to reduce the intensity of that negativity bias so that you can actually see the good that's already there. A study in 2003 actually sought to prove this. Researchers split participants into 3 groups. The gratitude group, who wrote down 5 things they were grateful for once a week. The hassles group, who wrote down 5 daily annoyances or hassles. And the neutral group, who simply recorded events that affected them. They found that after 10 weeks of doing this, the gratitude group didn't just feel happier, they were way more optimistic about the future. They felt better about their lives as a whole, and, most interestingly, they actually exercised more and had fewer physical symptoms of illness than the group that were focused on the hassles. On the other side, the study found that the people who just recorded events, the neutral group, weren't actually much happier than the hassles group, thus suggesting that if we don't actively choose gratitude and focus our minds on abundance, then our default setting is to lean towards the negative. Number 3, you've reached a progress plateau. Brutal truth number 3 is that the human brain is wired for the pursuit of a goal, not the possession of it. In psychology, this is called hedonic adaptation. When you spend years trying to buy a house or get a promotion, your brain is flooded with dopamine during the process of trying to achieve that thing. But as soon as you achieve it, The excitement usually lasts for a week or even just an hour before it becomes the new normal. And because the chase is now over, you might actually start to feel aimless. And it's important to recognize that a lack of purpose, I'll be honest, and from personal experience I can really vouch for this, is often the quickest route to depression. If you feel meh right now, it's usually not because you don't appreciate what you've got. It's usually because you've actually hit your goals and therefore hit a progress plateau. So the way to get over that is you need to find a new mountain to climb, a new reason to get out of bed in the morning, a way to feel purpose and a spring in your step again. Number 4, you are chasing cheap dopamine. Brutal truth number 4, a state change requires a physical shift, not a digital purchase. When we feel unhappy, our instinct is to soothe ourselves with cheap dopamine, like ordering something off Amazon or scrolling on TikTok. You're not the only one if you do this. These scientifically give you a temporary short-term high that is almost immediately followed by a crash, which leaves you feeling actually worse than you were before. So if you want to feel alive, you have to do things that make your body feel alive through effort. Neurochemically, activities like moving your body, meditating, or dancing release endorphins and serotonin, the feel-good chemicals, that stay in your system much longer than the high of buying something or scrolling. So instead of trying to buy your way out of a bad mood, you need to actually physically change your state in order to shift your brain chemistry. Number 5, the social comparison trap. Brutal truth number 5, comparison is the thief of joy, but it's also a lie based on incomplete data. We live in a culture of relative deprivation. This is the psychological phenomenon where we don't judge our success by our own needs, but by how we stack up against the people around us. A scientific research study published in the Quarterly Journal of Economics found that if your neighbour's income goes up, your life satisfaction actually goes down as much as if you had taken a pay cut yourself. How crazy is that? We are literally wired to feel poorer just because someone else got richer. You might have a beautiful home, but you feel unhappy because your neighbour just put in a new kitchen. And in the digital age, this trap has actually gone viral. A 2014 study in the journal Psychology of Popular Media Culture found that the more people use social media, the lower their self-esteem became. But the interesting thing was, it wasn't actually the app itself that caused the damage. It was the increased social media comparison. Basically, you are comparing your behind-the-scenes footage, your stress, the messy kitchen, your self-doubt, with everyone else's Instagram highlight reel. When you realize that you are actually just competing against a fictional, curated version of other people's lives, you finally give yourself permission to enjoy your own. So in conclusion, if you want to move from successful on paper to happy in reality, then you have to start making choices based on your own internal version of what's fulfilling, not what other people's are. So to help you kickstart that process, I want you to look at these 3 things today. 1, conduct a value audit. Is there one area of your life where you might actually be doing something just because you think it's the successful thing to do, even though it's not actually making you happy? Actually run through all of the different areas of your life and rate them out of 10. This is a really practical way of doing this, with 10 being that they make you truly, truly happy and or fulfilled, and 0 being that they drain your energy and don't excite you. Number 2, shift your focus. Tonight, instead of scrolling, write down 3 things that went right today. This will help you to retrain your brain away from that negativity bias. It's not a complicated process. All it takes is just shifting your focus purposefully every single day. And lastly, plan a state change. Choose one physical activity this week, whether it's a long walk or a Zumba class, something that just gets you out of your head and into your body. And if this video has really resonated with you and you feel like you are ready to dive deeper into what's actually holding you back, then I actually run intensive self-empowerment retreats. I run them in Greece, and we've got a UK one in August this year. And at these retreats, we look at all of this in depth, in person. So if you're interested in joining us, then submit an application through the link below or in the description or the show notes, and we will get back to you and let you know if we think you'd be a good fit. So remember, your life doesn't have to look good to everyone else in order to be good for you. Change starts with the courage to be honest about what you actually value, and then having the courage to make changes in alignment with that. I appreciate you.